Hey guys, Ranger here, and welcome back to a very special video. This is a reaction review to the 14th episode of MLP, which is A Matter of Principles. Season 8 is out of hiatus. It does not seem like that hiatus lasted very long. We have had longer hiatuses before. This one did not last very long. It didn't seem like it. We have had much longer hiatuses. But it didn't last long, but here we are back with episode 14, the resume of season 8. And also, as you notice, I'm using my my Logitech C920 webcam again. Turns out, whenever there was an update, whenever Windows did the update, it cut off, it basically switched, allowing access to the camera and the microphone. And so I had to switch both of those settings back, and so here I am back again with my webcam. So, yeah, I'm back. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. Double checking to make sure everything's okay. And I know this episode has Discord in it, and I remember something about Starlight. And I remember seeing that because whenever I was recording the episode, out of the I happened to glance over, and I saw Starlight being lifted up magically by Discord or something like that. So, let's begin. Start the video. 3. Double checking. Excuse me. Sorry. Indigestion like crazy. Start of the video. 3, 2, 1, click.
Who can tell me what these are?
Ooh, lots of cute characters.
Treasure? Nope. They're all legendary magical artifacts.
Oh.
I've read ahead in Equestrian Cultures and Camaraderie, Volume 7.
That's adorable.
You're right, Acellus. This is the Amulet of Aurora, the Talisman of Mirage, the Helm of Yixler, the Crown of Grover, Knuckerbocker's Shell, and Clover the Clever's Cloak.
And the gems are real. Not that I tasted them.
Princess Celestia gifted these to our school.
Again, adorable
since they
characters.
Each represent
Hey,
one
she's
of the
back.
cultures our students come from. And we'll learn all about them with a Spellvenger hunt.
Sweet. I love that.
Is that a pony thing? It's a magical scavenger hunt.
Oh, okay.
Each of you will work in pairs to try to find where in the school these artifacts are hidden.
The team that finds
That's
most
adorable.
wins a private tour of the Canterlot archives with Princess Celestia.
Learning.
Well, that's adorable in this.
Does it get any better than that?
You've been underwater a long time, haven't you?
Gallus and Silverstream?
I love
Sounds like you're our
his
first
attitude.
pair. What? They'll make a great team. Why pony glowing?
You're. Oh my. Interesting.
Wait, you all were called on this friendship quest too?
It must be a really important one.
And
Okay.
terribly far away.
What?
Just getting
Whoa!
days.
Do y'all know what this means? There won't be any teachers left to run the school.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Now, first off, Twilight's adorable in this episode. We also see some reoccurring characters here, which is awesome to see. Now, the characters are being sent to a farther location, a very far location. And I love the fact that we're seeing so much stuff outside of the traditional world that we're used to. I love that aspect because it adds more to the initial world. And I love that we're seeing that because it's super cool to see more of that world.
Should we send our students home?
I say we take them with us.
No, that'd be cool,
Of my friendship quilting class.
but I wouldn't advise it.
Not all of those unfinished
You have to get the
seams.
parents' consent to drag them along on a dangerous venture. So,
Problem is, we don't even know how long we'll be gone.
Don't worry, every pony. I already have a 70-point plan in place for this very situation.
oh, you do? Adorable.
You want me to
What?
be head mare? Perfect choice. You're a good leader and an expert in friendship. I trust you to run this school exactly as I would.
That's a pretty big responsibility, Twilight.
Which is why I prepared everything you need.
Have a seat.
The curriculum,
Okay.
rules for the Spellvenger hunt, dining hall menus for the next 6 months.
What? 6 months?
not really gonna be gone that long, are you?
And
Half a
Spike.
freaking year.
Anything that isn't covered in my files, he'll be able to help you with.
And why not put him in charge?
No.
No,
thanks.
bad idea.
Being a princess for Twilight was hard enough.
Yeah, and you
I'm gonna
sucked at
pretend
it.
that made sense. But if you're sure it's what you really want, I promise I won't let you down.
I knew I could count on you.
Where are the fire extinguishers? Not for
Hey,
Starlight. I
what
mean,
could possibly go wrong?
don't. No. You don't. No. You never say that. You never ever say those words.
Come back soon.
That's a
please.
jinx. That's an automatic jinx. Hello, Discord.
Huh?
I hate goodbyes, don't you? I just go to pieces.
You're going. Yep, I knew it.
Discord. What a nice surprise. This is your
What
first
up?
time at our new school, isn't it?
Oh,
Welcome!
Was I not invited to the grand opening? Friends and Family Day, baccalaureate? I hadn't noticed.
Donald Duck.
Well, at
That's
least you're here
Donald's
now.
suit.
Why are you here now?
To fill in for Twilight, of course, as head draconicless. I seem to recall a whole
sailor
song
suit.
about how this school is where you make your own rules. Now, who better at that than me?
You also must have heard Starlight is in charge now.
Really? I thought there must be some mistake.
Nope. Twilight picked me for the job, and she left pretty detailed instructions for me to follow.
Well, I'm sure that she wouldn't mind if I made a few tiny suggestions.
We're done.
Item 1, gravity is optional.
Okay, this is that scene I saw.
Item 2, the school's new mascot is an ambidextrous marmoset.
But what?
Item 3.
Okay.
Not gonna happen. I promised Twilight I'd handle this her way. So thanks, but no thanks.
Really?
Uh-oh.
Well, we'll see if you change your mind.
When we play ogres and oubliettes and he puts that many E's and really, things don't usually end well.
Don't worry, Spike. Discord and I are old Save Equestria buddies. He'll be fine. Now, what's next on Twilight's list?
Where's my 45 so I can shoot myself?
Okay.
Why can I hear
Get the
him
artifacts
like
for the scavenger
internally
hunt
screaming,
and
"Help
school
me"?
supplies for the week. All you have to worry about is teaching class.
Thanks, Spike. Maybe we will get through this okay.
You jinxed it whenever you said "watch and go wrong." Hello. That's cool. Ah!
Come in, come in.
Di-
You'll let the Twitter mites out.
Twitter mites.
Twitter mites.
Discord, what are you doing?
Hello, Starlight
Is
here.
at your desk. Imagine what Twilight would say. Oh, how could you, Starlight? You've broken my trust and failed me completely. Oh, don't worry. I'll cover for you. By the way, I hope you like Limburger cheese. I got a month's supply for the teacher's lounge.
Oh, I was gonna say he's dead.
We'll take it from here, Discord. Go relax. Have a cup of tea. At home.
Oh, some thanks for all my help. And after I hired all those substitute teachers
What?
for you.
What?
Actually, that does sound kind of helpful. And it was next on our to-do list.
They're you, aren't they?
Which teachers did you hire?
They call it
You!
making friends because you have to make creatures be your friends. Show me what you got, Yak.
Be my friend.
If you're quiet, I don't buy it.
Be my friend.
I've heard pudding that's more convincing.
Be my friend.
That's not how Twilight teaches friendship.
Shouldn't you be, oh, I don't know, arrested? Piece of
Some
it.
feel.
Cranky!
Where's my iced tea? This is too cold. Now it's too hot. Now No, it's too tea-flavored. You call yourselves friends?
That is definitely not how Twilight teaches friendship.
Oh, if only Matilda could see this. She would slap you up one side of the wall and down the other, boy.
You hired a tree as a teacher?
Its schedule was free.
Guys, that's not just any tree.
Spike?
It's a dragon sneeze tree.
What? What? You mean they breathe? Oh. Oh crap, that's definitely a fire hazard. Fire extinguisher. Question. Watch out for the structural integrity of the building. You should be arrested.
You do seem like you're in over your head. Won't
Oh gee,
Twilight be
really?
so
You think?
disappointed with how you're running her school?
That I twitch.
Discord! This is all your fault!
Mine? I thought you were in charge here. I'm happy to pitch in if you need me.
What I need is for you to leave.
Happy now?
Come on, Discord. You know that's not what she means.
Fine. From now on, I won't try to help at all.
Thanks, Spike. Let's just hope he stays gone.
I wouldn't count on it. I think Discord's trying to test you.
That's kind of what I was actually
I thought we were
thinking.
friends.
Well, that's kind of what he does.
Yeah.
Even the ponies or dragons he cares about.
Oh, well.
That's kind of what I was
I'm
thinking about.
ready
He's
for it.
testing your integrity
I
or
told
your
Twilight
determination
I'd run
here.
her school right, and I'm gonna keep that promise. No matter what.
I was actually thinking what Spike was saying. Ooh, that is beautiful at night.
Good morning, students.
And there goes the
I
balloon.
know there's been a little bit of adjustment since the professors
Trixie.
left for their trip, but I
Wonderbolts.
brought in new teachers.
What?
And now everything should run
Trixie.
smoothly.
Okay.
Now it's time for class, and don't forget, this afternoon is the Spellbinger Hunt.
Question.
Yo, greetings, fellow creatures.
They're adorable.
Is this seat taken?
Adorable.
Welcome, class. You may call me the great
Trixie?
and powerful
You're not.
Professor Trick.
Your cell's ringing.
Shh. Really? That's so inconsiderate.
Cute.
Oh, I better take this.
Banana phone.
Hello?
Ring, ring, ring. Banana
He
phone.
did not. And what did you say? You did not.
Discord. Why are you here?
Why, I'm a student of friendship, of course. Unless you don't think you're good enough to teach me.
Of course I am. No fruit calls in my class.
Calls.
Magic
put
is
a
the most
phone in. Okay.
important element of friendship. So today, I, the great and powerful Trixie, will put on a magic show.
Adorable. Oh boy. Derpy! An Ursa Major!
Oh, I'm learning so much. Aren't you?
Discord! Hello? What exactly is a long-distance plan?
Okay, interesting.
Team.
Actually, we just finished Professor Spitfire's workout.
Sounds like
And your
somebody
war.
needs
Oh.
a little motivation.
Oh man, I would like to have heard Spitfire in this. Bugbear? Yeah, we better get Bon Bon on this.
This is great.
Running for your life is great. Okay,
Hey,
interesting.
Coach, we need a break.
Friendship is about honesty, so believe me when I say we're not stopping.
Fiona, can't run faster.
Oh,
that's
boy.
enough. Endangering students crosses the line. I don't
Yeah.
know why you're trying to ruin this school, but it stops now.
I wouldn't be so sure.
This is your last warning.
Oh, crap!
Take it
Oh,
easy.
crap!
Discord's your friend, remember?
Well, he's not acting like it.
She's right, Discord. What's your problem?
My problem? How is the fact that Twilight decided to put an incompetent, power-hungry unicorn in charge of her school
Oh.
my problem?
Dang it! Sweet.
Don't worry.
Don't worry, I just killed him!
School grounds forever. He's fine.
Yeah! I just,
Probably made things worse.
You just-
Why didn't you just talk to Discord?
sweet mother of
He's right about
Jehoshaphat.
one thing. I've been doing a terrible job as head mayor.
No, you haven't. Discord is just being Discord.
Maybe.
Yeah!
But I wonder why me being in charge bothers him so much.
And now he's
We
disintegrated.
can figure that out after the Spellbinger hunt. Come on.
Yeah, let's ignore the burnt to a
For
crisp
this afternoon's
ground.
Spellbinger hunt, you'll need to use the artifact's history to find where they're hidden in the castle. When you spot one, touch it with
Adorable.
a magic shield to keep track of your score.
Twilight left a list of your hunt partners before she left. I'll pass out the shields.
They look like little sundials.
Ready, set,
A gong.
Spellbinger hunt!
Because we can't actually have a
Come on, we can
pistol.
use Twilight's observatory
use
to
at
watch
this
the
point.
tanks.
We can't do that. So we use a gong, that works.
I hope you know where you're going. To the helm of Yixler. Works for me. In our book, it says Yixler was an honorable Yak warrior. Any enemies that saw him put down their weapons in peace. I think his artifact must be in one of these suits of armor. I'm guessing that one.
Ha!
One down, 5 to go.
Aw, Celis and Smolder found
That's
their
adorable.
first artifact. Wait, what's that?
Discord.
I don't think that's part of the scavenger hunt. The school is haunted.
No. Well, we know Discord's still alive, which I figured he would be. Adorable.
Win this scavenger hunt.
Yeah, I doubt that. But at least I know where one of the artifacts is. Saw Spike hide it yesterday.
Ah! Whoa, nice.
The Crown of Grover! Score! They say it's magic, and King Grover used it to become the first ruler of Griffinstone. I know. Pretty sweet, right?
Those pictures are going to come alive.
What? If you ever tell any...
Yep.
Whoa!
3D painting.
Hey, look, it's the Haunted Mansion attraction. That's, you know, this could actually make a really good horror, like a scary-based episode. It could.
Yeah, that's definitely Discord. This is not good.
I thought you banished him from the school.
Only his body. Apparently his ghost can come and go just fine. Let's go.
Oh, so you murdered him, but now you gotta deal with his ghost. Okay.
No offense.
You
but I don't
destroyed
think
his
magic
physical
is the answer
body,
to
and now you
Discord.
gotta
This time?
exercise his ghost. That's great. Ghost Hunters,
The shell.
the
of
MLP
Knuckleball.
version.
It's like a seashell, but if you blow into it,
With
you
Ghost
call it
Adventures.
dragon. There's a sweet poem in her book about it. Climb to the heights with dragon flight. Like flight of stairs.
Yona take pony word for it. Huh?
Discord.
What's happening?
Quicksand.
Yona not know, but Yona do know. Yona not like scavenger hunt.
kid. It's Discord.
Mayor Starlight, look at me, look. I won the Spell Venture Hunt. Well done, me. Now, what's my prize?
Detention.
Well, that's disappointing.
That was awesome, Spike.
Discord, you can't keep messing up the school.
On the contrary, I think I rather can and will.
Then I have just one thing to say to you.
Well, do go on.
I'm sorry.
What?
I had to stop thinking like a head mayor and start thinking like a guidance counselor to finally understand. You felt left out.
I don't know what you're getting at.
No pony ever invited you to the school, and when you offered to help, I didn't listen. I was so worried about doing things Twilight's way, I didn't stop to think about being a good friend. I'd like to apologize for that, and offer you the job of vice head mayor.
Huh?
Really?
What?
Why? No!
Totally confused.
I accept. I mean, I suppose I can find some time in my busy schedule to help you out. But I will need my own office, expense account, parking space.
You're new to the world of education, aren't you?
Next time you want something, just ask for it, all right?
But then we miss out on all those delightful misadventures.
Hey! Watch some wings!
Adorable Starlight.
Now, Vice Head Mayor Discord, if you'll
Vice
help
Head
me
Mayor,
get the
that's-
Spelvenger hunt back
That's
in order.
comical.
Everything is re-hidden. Oh, well, with a few surprises.
Discord! I can't believe you tricked us into going on a friendship
What?
that isn't real!
What?
Oh, back so soon.
A glamour spell on our cutie marks. A fake summons from the map. Hey, at least we got to go spelunking in that really creepy cave with all those eyeless worm creatures chasing us.
What?
Oh, Jonah's so glad Pony's back.
Y'all get the feeling we missed something?
Thanks for taking care of the school, Starlight.
It was a challenge, but I think things turned out just the way you'd have handled them.
Guess this means you're not vice head mayor anymore.
Oh, pooh. I just ordered business cards.
Okay. Definitely some interesting thing here to go over. Definitely some interesting thing to go over here. And the good news, I don't have to stop on this video in order to go over the discussion. I really love this episode. For the second half of Season 8, I really did love this episode. It was very cute, it was very sweet, and it had some really good, powerful moments in it. The concept was quite interesting. I actually initially believed at first, as I'm sure many people did, how could you not believe it, that Twilight and the rest of the gang had been sent on a friendship excursion, and who would have thought that it was Discord that actually was able to cause that? Who would have thunk that? But Starlight was put in charge, and she wanted to try to run the school good for a few different reasons. Number one, she had been tasked by Twilight, someone whom the very individual that, and I can see, I mean, yeah, there's a few things to mention about this episode. This episode touches upon Starlight's past, and it touches upon that, and you can see for Starlight, it's uncomfortable. Like I said, I honestly believe that mentally and emotionally, Starlight, from time to time, is still suffering. That's what I believe. And sometimes she can be at ease with herself, but other times she's ashamed of her past. Now here she was put in charge of watching over the school by Twilight, and the very person whom she had a feud with, the very person whom she originally despised, the very one, or the very pony whom she despised, the very pony whom she ultimately tried to destroy. She tried to destroy Twilight. She tried to destroy Twilight's friendship with her friends, and tried to destroy Twilight's present and her future by changing the past. And so all of that happened, but Twilight forgave her. And so Twilight was the first one to actually show Starlight friendship. And here she is, Twilight made Starlight the guidance counselor of the school. And so here is Starlight, here's Twilight, both Starlight's friend and her teacher, and the one who forgave her and gave her a second chance, who is tasking her to watch over her school, over Twilight's school. Yeah, that's kind of a big responsibility. That's a pretty freaking big responsibility. And so yeah, you can't blame. I mean, if you think about it in that scenario, you can't blame Starlight for wanting to run it good and for wanting to handle it calmly and civilized and handle the situation to that Twilight would approve, handling it on Twilight's level. I can completely understand Starlight wanting to do that. I can. It makes good sense. And she wanted to run it. She didn't want to disappoint Twilight. And Twilight told her, you're good with friendship. And I imagine that whenever Twilight said that, Starlight felt a pang of guilt in her heart because of her past. And she honestly felt that Twilight was making a big mistake by putting her in charge. She didn't feel that she was up to the task, and that it was a big mistake. Twilight needed to find someone more suitable for the task. And she wondered why Twilight was even doing that. What was Twilight off her meds? Was she off her rocker? Had she finally cracked? And so here, Starlight wanted to try to impress Twilight. She wanted to do a good job. And here is Discord. Someone who is about chaos and has his own way of doing things. Discord is not the normal kind. Discord is not the kind of person that whenever it comes to trying to teach you a lesson or to help you understand something about yourself, as we have seen before with Big Mac and Sugar Belle, Discord is not the kind of person that would just tell you. He instead teaches by example. He uses scenarios to try to help you to understand and learn from that without telling you. That's Discord's style. And Discord here, I honestly thought that there was a lesson that he was trying to teach Starlight. Spike thought the same thing that I did, that Discord was doing all of this to try to teach Starlight something. Maybe he was trying to test her. He was trying to test her mettle, to test her determination, test her confidence in herself, whether or not she could handle it. And that's what I honestly thought, but it turned out that was not the case. It turns out Discord was just doing all of this. I'm going to go as far as to say he did it as a sort of in-your-face, sort of a bit of revenge for feeling left out. And here's the thing, all of this transpired with the school. Discord was not included. And yes, we understand that. Discord was not present whenever the school was formed. He was not there whenever all these decisions went down. Discord was not present. However, justly and rightly so, Discord didn't have a place in the initial story. He wasn't written into the story. This right here makes a good concept of that. Like, why wasn't I included? Well, story-wise, if you look at it from a realistic standpoint, from a real-life standpoint, you just weren't included in the script. However, looking at it from sort of a realistic standpoint from within the show, Discord is about chaos, and so you're trying to teach students about friendship. And although Discord does know about friendship, especially through Fluttershy, I could easily myself say maybe Discord is not the best choice to try to do anything with the students. Because Discord still loves acting up. He loves cutting up. He loves making chaos. He loves just doing things completely he loves doing things the unorthodox way, completely zany. That's Discord's style, and everyone wanted to try to have a bit of a neat and organized way of doing things, and Discord would have kind of interfered with that. So I'm definitely not saying Discord is terrible or he's bad. No. it's just Discord, you can kind of understand why the Discord might not have been a good choice. Um, at some point, maybe later on. But these students, they haven't known friendship for very long, and I mean, look at what had to be done in order for all this to happen. Twilight had to get authorization from the from what was it, the EEA, and even then, uh, Chancellor or sorry, Chancellor Stuck Up Face, whatever his name was, I'm just going to call him that. Chancellor Stuck Up Face. He or Counselor whatever. He didn't approve of the school. He had a different idea what the school was. He wanted it to be about self-defense, about trying to build everybody up to help protect Equestria. He wasn't about friendship. Twilight basically went against the EEA and got this school set up anyway. And so Twilight is already, I'm not saying whatsoever the school is illegal, but there was also the concept of the parents, the different cultures here. I mean, the yaks, the sea ponies, the griffins, all of these different kinds of creatures, they had to come together and agree. And so, in a sense, you could say that things are kind of still a bit tense right now. I would not say that it's all peaches and cream. Things are a bit still tense. The characters are still learning about friendship. And so I think at some point Discord could be introduced to that. But right now, I think it's good that the school main six are still hanging out around these other characters and learning about friendship. Discord is sort of the more wilder, zany side of that, and so I think introducing them to him later on, once they've learned a few other things, would be okay. But just flinging them into the scenario with Discord, yeah, I can understand. But Discord, he was jealous. He wasn't included. He felt left out, and it's kind of understandable. I mean, they don't really include him very much in what goes on. But to be honest, there's kind of two sides to this story, and I'll be completely honest here, and I'm trying to look at this from a logical and psychological standpoint. I'm trying to look at both perspectives. There are, in my personal view, there are two sides to this, and I'm trying to look at this from a psychological and logical standpoint. Discord felt left out, and that No Pony includes him in anything. Well, they probably don't. And so, yeah, I mean, it's understandable that he'd feel left out, that he'd feel angry, that he'd feel jealous, he'd feel lonely. It's understandable. But you also have to look at the concept of to Discord's past, what he did before. I mean, he did kind of set himself up for that. And with his attitude, his personality, you could say that he sets himself up for that. And so, there's two things at work here. Discord's way of doing things doesn't exactly work well with what the other character's idea of doing something is. They have a different idea of doing something, and Discord has a completely different radical idea of doing it. An idea which the others do not want to partake in. And so, although they have forgiven Discord, there's still a tensity there. There is still a bit of tense emotions, a bit of tension there between them, and it's visible. It's still visible. And it's not that they don't really trust Discord. I think they're still trusting him, it's just in their own way. And like I said, Discord, he's not a bad guy anymore. He's not. He's completely reformed. And Discord is a good character. He's a fun character. He's a lovable character. John Delancey is perfect for Discord. And I do love Discord's character. But there's a lot of things to view with Discord and with the other characters regarding their personalities, their psyche, their mentality, their emotional stability, and just how each character does things. Discord somewhat clashes with that. I'm not saying he doesn't belong. It's one of those scenarios where Discord has a completely radical way of doing things. And you kind of have to meet in the middle with that. And as I said prior, Discord, what he did before, he tried to take over Equestria more than once. He even he even tricked Fluttershy. And so he learned about friendship, though, and he's still learning about it. He does have good intentions at times. We've seen that. But it has to come out in his own natural way, which is natural to him. And oftentimes his way of doing things can clash with what another has, with another's idea. And so they don't really invite him along because at times it feels like his ideals clashes with their ideals. But likewise, that's Discord's personality, and it's, does it fit? Does it not? And so it's about trying to, figure out, can it work? Can it not? Is this a good time? Is it not? And so it's understandable that Discord before, with what he did before in the past, they're concerned about inviting him along because they just don't know if he will fit in. And so, yeah, there are two different perspectives here. And I do feel sorry for Discord. I do. But at the same time, you can say, well, you kind of set yourself up for it. And so it's something I think that he has to learn. And the ending, whenever Starlight told Discord, if you want something, just ask. That's a good thing. That's a good thing because Discord is still learning from the others. He too is still learning about friendship. And so I think Discord would be an interesting student and should be a student at the School of Friendship because I think that there is more things that he can learn. And I think that there are things that the others can learn from him as well. I think friendship is kind of a learning. It's like a mutual, it's a mutual experience. You both learn different things. And if you work together, collaborate, and learn with each other, I think that's whenever you learn the best. And Discord, he learned that instead of trying to seek revenge, instead of trying to rebuke instead of trying to rebel against them, just ask. And I think, and it's interesting because Discord, he's too headstrong to do that. As we saw here, he's too headstrong. He's got too much pride to allow himself to be able to do that. But I think with this right here episode, it shows that he is slowly beginning to put a bit of that pride, hopefully aside, to that he will be able to open himself up in the future and be able to be more upfront about his feelings, about his emotions, without resorting to hurting someone else to do so or acting out. And so, is Discord a bad guy here? From my perspective, at one point he kind of was. But he wasn't a major bad guy. He was just acting out because he was jealous and he felt left out. And again, you can understand why. But at the same time, like I said, there are things he still has to learn, as is things the others have to learn as well. And so I do feel for Discord here. I really do. And it was an interesting concept with that Discord, he felt left out because it seemed like no pony invited him along, and the only real true friend that Discord has is Fluttershy. And here he is friends with Starlight, he's friends with Trixie, and so he felt kind of left out. And the more that he tried to participate and do these things, thinking maybe it would liven things up, the more he got told, don't do this. To the point that he was seeming like a small child that was being scolded by the adults for doing these different things. And there was some things that they had to learn as well. And for Starlight, it was also a learning point for her as well because she was only looking at it from a one-sided perspective. She was trying to look at it like, what would Twilight do? And she was trying to be a guidance counselor. And like Starlight said, that she tried. She originally was focusing on trying to be a guidance counselor. And so she was focusing on that. And she was letting that obstruct her view outside of that in a much broader perspective. There was a much broader perspective to view. And because she was focused on that one thing, it was limiting her field of vision so that she was only focused on trying to be a guidance counselor and run the school in a specific way. And whenever she put that aside and opened herself up, opened her mind, she was able to realize that Discord was feeling left out. She was more able to delve into his psyche and understand what was going on. And it was then that she realized she had been making a mistake as well. And so she learned. So technically speaking, I think Discord was able to learn through Starlight here, and Starlight was also able to learn through Discord. And I guess you could say that's what I mean by a mutual learning experience. They both learn something from each other. And because of that, I think it will help them both in the future, not just in their not just in their interactions with each other, but in other aspects of life. And so I think that's a really cool thing. Starlight was able to open her mind and realize I was leaving Discord out. And she realized that she was not being a friend. She was looking at him like a student. She wasn't being a friend. And so she apologized to that. And there was that really awesome forgiveness. And so things are back to normal, but I think things are better from this moment on. I think things will be able to be better. And so both perspectives you can understand here. Discord wanted to be included, but he felt left out. So he began to sort of rebel and do his own thing, and it was interfering with how Starlight wanted things to go. He was just trying to have some fun and help the other students to have fun as well, but it was interfering with how Starlight was trying to do things. And Starlight was limiting herself because she was becoming more and more focused on trying to run the school, and so she was cutting herself off from other aspects, from other viewpoints that she originally was able to see. And so they were both able to kind of learn from each other here, and I think that's really awesome. And so I really love the dynamic here, and like I said, both are perspectives that you can very much understand. And it's very easy to allow oneself to be in either's shoes or horseshoes here. It's very easy to allow yourself to become in either situation. And so I really do love this episode because of that. There's a really interesting dynamic here, and I really love that. I really love that. But there's one other particular scene that I wanted to talk about here, and this particular scene, before I move on to detailing other things in the episode, there's one particular scene here that kind of stood out for me among everything else, and that was this one scene with Starlight and Discord standing off on the field. Starlight was getting more and more frustrated with Discord because of what was going on. She was getting more and more angry with his methods and wanted to know what was going on. That moment whenever Discord called Starlight incompetent, power hungry, that I think at that point, there's a couple of different viewpoints that I can see in this. And again, I'm trying to look at this from a psychological standpoint. At this point, I think I can see the hurt emanating from Discord, because he resorted to using hurtful insults to demean and put down Starlight. He resorted to using hurtful words, and I think that's the moment whenever you could see the hurt in him. And he was angry, but he was also hurt. And that hurt was... Discord is not used to feeling that. I don't believe Discord is used to feeling hurt. I don't believe that's very much within his character. And so feeling sadness, feeling hurt is something he's not... It's kind of foreign to him. But he has felt it before, but I still think it's a bit of a new emotion for him. As well, he's not used to feeling left out. And now that he's got that friendship, I think it's really beginning to affect him, because he's been alone, in solitude, isolated from so many others, not having anyone around him for so long. It would be easy to look at the situation and say that he's clinging to that. He's clinging to that friendship, and so feeling left out, feeling like others are drifting away from him. And so, instead of his emotions coming out as hurt, it's 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 his emotions are transgressing themselves as anger, because that's the only thing that Discord can do at this point. That's the only way that he can let his emotions out. It's coming out as anger. And so I think that's one interesting perspective here, is Discord is angry, and he's transmitting his emotions through that anger, his sadness. And there was something else that was going on here, because it was at this point that you could see Starlight, whenever Discord says that, and Starlight, that look of shock on her face. There's a few different things that I can see here in this. There's a few different things that I can see in Starlight's expression. And I'm, again, psychological standpoint, I see someone who is both shocked and feels hurt, angry, and betrayed. She feels betrayed because here's someone who who she once deemed a friend called her power hungry, referring to her hurtful past, and so this hurt her. Like, at this point, for me personally, I can see her heart break, because here's someone who she thought was a friend say that to her. She feels betrayed. Like, how could you say that to me? And she's angry. And so, again, it doesn't come out of sadness. Her anger has been building. It doesn't come out of sadness. It comes out through anger. And she resorts to blasting Discord into oblivion. And she kind of obliterates him into nothingness, and ultimately causes, like, she goes full Dragon Ball, Kamehameha. But again, it's something that for me I can kind of see is Starlight. That's what I said before. I honestly believe, and this is something I try to look at psychologically. Starlight, I do believe, still suffers mentally and emotionally from her past. It's not something that she can just let go. She's made some mistakes, and I think that those will always haunt her. She's forgiven herself somewhat, but I still think that she blames herself, and she still suffers for it. She knows others has forgiven her, but she worries. I think she worries. I think she has a major concern of losing others' trust. She's almost desperate to try to do what she can to gain others' trust, to try to hold on to that trust, because she finally her life has turned around for the better, and she has more now going for her than she ever had. And I think she's desperate to cling on to that. And I think that oftentimes we've seen in different episodes, we've seen that sadness come out in a few different ways, ranging from her sulking under the covers. I think that sometimes she may suffer a bit of depression. And she loves her friends dearly, and she worries about the future. She worries about what is going to happen, and she tries her best to try to hold on to that trust, to try to hold on to their trust, and to do what she can to earn that trust and keep that trust. And she's good at analyzing others. She is very good at analyzing others' behavior. She's very good at that. And that's why she does make a good guidance counselor, is she's able to analyze others mentally. She's able to analyze others psychologically and kind of delve into their psyche. But like I said, she does have some fear buried inside of her, and I believe she holds some resentment against herself because of what she did in the past. She knows she can't go back and change it, and I really think that she wishes that she never did it. But she knows that it was a mistake. and it's something that she will always have to live with. And I think that there is a scar on her heart right now from her mistake. And it hurts her whenever someone makes a mention. I mean, every time that someone makes a mention about it, you can see how uncomfortable she is with it. She's not the least bit comfortable with it. It's a mistake, a burden that she has to bear. And sometimes I think she tries bearing that burden alone. And so here, to have someone, especially someone whom she thought a friend, bring up her past, it hurts her. We've seen it before whenever she fused all of her anger together inside of that bottle, and through Granny Smith, her anger came forth and said, why do you always have to bring up my past? Her past haunts her. It's uncomfortable, and it's something that she has to deal with. She fears isolation. She fears being alone. She feels that she doesn't deserve the trust that others have given her, the second chance. But she's eternally grateful for it. Like we've seen with whenever Twilight told her that she was a good guidance counselor. In that moment, whenever you can see that warm smile and those bobbing eyes, it touched her. And so I think that she suffers. She is mentally strong. I'm not going to say she's weak. She's not weak. She deals with it in her own way. And I think, for me personally, I can see that in her. Maybe I'm looking into it too much, but that's just what I see in her. And again, it took her doing this. She made the mention that she took a moment to actually think back. She wondered why that her being in charge bothered Discord, and she had to think about that, and she took a step back and analyzed the situation. That's why I said that she's good at analyzing and studying others. If she was able to take a step back, analyze the situation from an outside perspective, outside the initial perspective and viewpoint that she originally was viewing things, and she was able to see it in a different light. And because of that, she was able to broaden that perspective and understand it from Discord's point of view. And honestly, that's why Starlight makes a good guidance counselor. She was able to even help Discord, someone who's not even a part of the school, but she was able to help him. And so, yeah, I really did love this episode. There's a lot going on in it, and I really love this episode. There's some really good psychological and emotional things going on in this episode, and I really do love it for that. And honestly, regarding Starlight, this is definitely one of my most favorite episodes. Definitely of this season. It just really, I mean, the animation was adorable for different scenes, but of course, like I said, there was a lot going on psychologically. And so I can see that, and I think that's probably why that it's a favorite episode of mine is because of the psychological, is because of the deep psychological emotions and viewpoints that is going on within this episode. And other people may see it completely differently and view it completely differently than I do, and that's fine. But that's just how I see it personally. But again, I really do love this episode, and I really give credit to the writers and the voice actors and the animators for being able to help convey the deep emotion and everything that just goes on in this episode. So thank you all so much for that. We're going over a couple different little aspects about this episode here. We actually see some other characters return. Now, of course, we see the return. Ah, dang, crap. Here we go. There we go. We also see some of the other cute characters return. We see this other little filly up over here on the lower left. We see her return. I forgot her name. We see her return. We see the cute friendship student, which that's her name in the cell phone game. And this other character over here on the right, she's not present, but it's the character here. So yeah, really adorable. And this moment whenever Twilight pokes her head in front of Spike with that little chuckle, it's just adorable. But I couldn't help but think to myself whenever Spike made the mention about with Princess Celestia, I'm thinking, yo, what about Princess Luna? You know, why not take a tour of the stars with Princess Luna? You know, I couldn't help but think about that. because I support the new Lunar Republic. Yeah, I still go for that. And at first, whenever Twilight's flank began to glow, I thought this was going to be an episode where it's just her. Like, it's just her going on a friendship venture. And it turns out, no! It's Everpony! Everpony's flanks are glowing. But the interesting thing here that I wanted to kind of mention as well is the map. How far that the map was sending them. There's some interesting viewpoints with this map here that's kind of hard to make out, but it's present. The map is sending, okay, it was fictional, of course, but the map is sending them across the ocean to these other, to this mountainous region. And there appears to be some other structures around that. But this map, again, is just freaking huge. And there's so much unexplored territory. I'm really curious about that. I'm really curious as to what's going to happen later. And again, this episode here, I gotta say, was just adorable with all the faces and everything that was just going on. This episode was just really, really adorable. There was a lot of great faces that was made. And the moment that this, honestly, I forgot about it. We heard about the Twitter mites in one of the other episodes whenever Apple Bloom was trying to get her cutie mark. We learned about the Twitter mites then, but honestly, whenever I saw this, I forgot about that at first, but for a split second until it come back to me about these in that previous episode, whenever Discord said the Twitter mites, I was thinking, is that a reference to some people on Twitter? That's what I thought, honestly. And the return, honestly, of Iron Will was shocking as crap because this guy should be arrested. This guy honestly should be serving jail time or at least doing community service because he dragged the princesses along for a cruise and took everybody's money, promising everybody a cruise with the princesses. And yeah, so yeah, he should be definitely fired. I don't know where Discord found him at. I don't freaking know. And Cranky acting, well, Cranky. I would have thought, I mean, gee whiz, dude, with that attitude, it's a wonder that Matilda is still with you right now. Gee whiz, you searched for how long? For over half of your life to find Matilda, and then you're acting like a snobby brat. My gosh, you don't deserve Matilda, man. And then you got married to her. Yeah, that's kind of bad. That's kind of like how some marriages go, you know, like everything's peaches and cream until the marriage, till they're married, and then it all goes downhill. Congratulations, dude. You're evidence of that. And I pointed out before, but this school looks so beautiful at night. I mean, just a soft glow, and oh man, this is just beautiful at night. Now we saw this balloon float throughout the episode a few more times after this. I'm sorry, I just had that image of this thing is not happy. It's just actually floating across Equestria. Meanwhile, it's thinking, end me now. Kill me! End my suffering! Please! And we have 3 different perspectives with Discord here. We have 3 different outfits for Discord. We have like the business suit, we have the graduation outfit, and then we have the schoolboy outfit. And honestly, this outfit reminded me of Donald Duck because this is like the sailor suit style. That's why it made me think of Donald Duck. That's just what it made me think of. And again, I remember somebody pointed out before, but they're still going on with it. Occasionally in the episodes, you'll notice a Charlie Brown style with the animation, how whenever the characters tilts their head up, how you have like the round circle with that little bump of a nose. It's very much like Charlie Brown, and it makes itself present here with Starlight. It's really cute, and I love it whenever they do that. It really works. It's a great. I mean, even if it's completely unintentional, it's a great little homage to Charlie Brown. And I gotta point it out, Derpy, hey, little Derpy, just derping. it's always great to see Derpy. And this little moment here, whenever I gotta say this moment here, whenever Trixie picks up the banana phone, ring ring ring, banana phone. I don't know why I got this stuck in my head, but whenever Trixie picks up the banana phone, oh my gosh, my imagination just went there. I can imagine how fan art's going to make use of that banana. Anyway, yeah, whenever Trixie picks up the banana, I really start to say banana phone. And she says, what exactly is a long distance plan? A couple things that there's a couple different ways that you could take this here. One is that the concept of a cell phone, long distance plans, etc. It's Equestria. They don't know what that is. It's not familiar tech. And so Trixie is asking a legit question: what is a long distance service plan? So that could be a thing that they're doing there. Another thing is, I don't know, you can maybe say, well, maybe Equestria just accepts local calls. Or maybe whenever she asks what exactly is a long distance service plan, maybe she's just wondering what the plan has, like what benefits does it offer. I'm going to go with the first idea, but it's a fun thing to imagine the third. And like I said here in this particular moment, whenever Starlight has the gong, before, whenever you'd see a cartoon, whenever they're getting ready to start some sort of event, occasionally you'll see them hold a gun, be it most of the 90% of the time it's like a 38 revolver. It's like a 38, or occasionally maybe it might be a 357, maybe a 44, or even a flare gun. We've seen that before too. But they can't show a gun here, so they use a gong. Because sad. I mean, I like the gong, but it would have been interesting if society wasn't the way it is, and they could have actually showed Starlight using a flare gun. That would have been fun. And I got that little moment whenever Starlight mentions that I didn't know what happened with Discord. She said she just banished him from the school forever. So Starlight killed Discord's physical form and then left his ghost. And so it was up to the ghost adventures. It was up to Zach and the rest of the ghost hunting crew of the Ghost Adventures crew to figure out what's going on. And actually, at first, one last thing that I wanted to say is these business cards by Discord. At first, because they say Discord, I kind of thought that it was going to be a little gag there where they would say Discovery. Like Discovery Family, where it's now on Discovery Family instead of the hub. That actually would have been comical. But the business cards are pretty interesting. I see they're reversed. Oh, they're double-sided. Okay. That's interesting. But again, yeah, I really did enjoy this episode. It was fun, it's cute, it was sweet, and it was an interesting psychological episode. But again, I really did love this episode. And personally, I do think this was a fun start to the second half of season 8. So yeah, I really did enjoy it. So again, everybody that worked on this episode, thank you guys so much. Thank you for writing the episode, for animating, and to the voice actors, thank you so much for voicing the characters the way that you did as well. There was all of those aspects went together to make it for a pretty emotional episode as well. Because like I said, there were different scenes that I could see, and I could see and kind of feel the emotions that the characters were. Some, I'm sure we'll say that was phantom feelings, that I was viewing it, that I was looking into it too much. But that was just my personal standpoint. But again, thank you to everybody so much for working on this episode. And again, thank you guys again for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And again, hope to see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care.